Dominic Cummings furiously hit out at Theresa May's Brexit Secretary David Davis and at the former head of the civil service Jeremy Haywood in a series of fiery tweets, unearthed reports reveal. This morning, former Prime Minister Theresa May criticised Boris Johnson's decision to appoint the UK's chief Brexit negotiator, David Frost, as the new National Security Advisor. Mrs May told MPs in the House Commons she had worked alongside Cabinet Secretary Sir Mark Sedwill, the current postholder, for 9 years both as Home Secretary and Prime Minister, and that his work had been extraordinary. On the other hand, Mrs May claimed the government had picked, in Mr Frost, a political appointee with no proven expertise as his new National Security Advisor. Sir Mark announced over the weekend his plans to step down as Britain's top civil servant and national security chief in September, amid reports of clashes with Mr Johnson's chief advisor Dominic Cummings. The move is widely seen as just the beginning of a wider upheaval, which has long been championed by Mr Cummings. Minister for the Cabinet Office Michael Gove laid the intellectual groundwork for the shake-up during a lecture at the weekend, in which he set out what he regards as the main faults in the Whitehall machine. Some of these, including that the civil service is too London-centric, and stuffed with generalists who move between jobs too quickly instead of acquiring expertise, are only some of the ideas previously set out by Mr Cummings in his blog. It is not the first time Mrs May and the Brexit guru have found themselves in disagreement over political appointments, even if indirectly. In 2017, Mr Cummings wrote on Twitter that former Civil Service Chief Jeremy Haywood was in a parallel universe on Brexit and warned Whitehall had mega failed to prepare for the negotiations on the withdrawal agreement. Moreover, Mr Cummings hit out at former Brexit Secretary David Davis, saying, David Davis is manufactured exactly to specification as the perfect stooge for Haywood, thick as mince, lazy as a toad, and vain as Narcissus. The Brexit guru strongly believed Mr Davis was not the right person to lead the negotiations with the EU, particularly due to his lack of experience. Mr Davis entered Westminster after a career in business. He served in the Whip's office for 3 years in the early 90s and was ex-Prime Minister John Major's Minister for Europe from 1994 to 1997 before returning to the front bench as Brexit Secretary in 2016.